we were just talking about we're on vacation next week, and I was looking through. I was doing the best of programming this weekend, trying to schedule things. And I have to say, I looked back over the first 3 months of this year. Here we are at the quarter pole.
Yeah.
And the two...
You kind of see topics that get touched on the most.
Yeah, and in fact, the scheduling can be difficult because, you don't want to schedule too much of it. And it's like, well, when did we say this? And when did, you try to put it in a certain order. And I'd say the two topics that have dominated this show from beginning of the year through now are Jenny's ice cream and my butthole.
Butts. All kinds of butthole.
Biggies too, but...
if only that could be a flavor.
Maybe.
My butthole by Jenny's ice cream.
Actually, I think if Jenny's ice cream were to want me to endorse them and create a flavor, I would just call it my butt.
Then is that strawberry and chocolate?
For me, yeah.
A little pink, a little
Neapolitan down
there. You could do Neapolitan.
I could do that.
That would work. But it's got to be in the right shape.
Little marshmallows.
Yeah.
Well, the big thing is it ruined. You started so strong.
I know, it ruined my $1,000, 1,000-pound weight loss challenge. When I tasted Jenny's ice cream and fell over to the dark side of sugar, and I haven't been able to get back right since.
Haven't.
I have not.
You ain't been right since.
I ain't been right since.
I think I saw too. I'm sure you all did too. That Dolly Parton has really partnered with Jenny's. Mm-hmm. They announced this a month ago that she was going to make her own flavor. I think I read that it's like strawberry something pretzel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretzel
Odd
strawberry.
combo.
Well, the sweet and salty, I guess, again. I just had that a large Reese's cup with pretzels inside.
And?
Better than I thought it was going to be. I don't usually go for those kinds of things. A dear friend gave it to me.
I had to.
Wasn't that the candy that I saw you say, this is going to my children?
Yes, it is. It was given to us one day last week, left on the desk, which our coworker, Tracy, will do from time to time. She'll just leave a Reese's out of it. And she left me two. One was a giant Reese's cup with pieces of pretzel inside, and I said, it's not my flavor. I don't think I'll like this.
I'll give that to my
That's
kids.
for the kids.
To the kids. The other was Mallow Bar. Mallow, you know what I'm talking about? Like marshmallow.
Like the Mallow Cups.
Mallow Cup.
Yeah.
Mallow Cup Reese's Cups. And I said, I'll never eat that. I'll just give those to my kids. And I ate both.
Never made it out of your...
No.
Did they make it to the home?
They did. I was really doing well.
They did.
They did. Well, that's
The
impressive.
kids were in school. And my son was up in his room on virtual school. I said, I better get rid of this.
He won't know.
He won't know. And I tried that with the pretzel, and it was surprisingly good.
Really?
Yeah. I liked it better than the Mallow Cup.
Were they talking to you the whole way home, sitting next to you? Open me, Daddy.
In my attaché.
Eat me.
They were in my attaché.
You know you want to eat me, Daddy.
You think out of sight, out of mind, but that's not the case.
No.
Once they're in your mind,
Oh, yeah.
you can free them.
I'm right here. All you got to do is unzip me.
Free me, Daddy.
I did, too, man. I went.
I'm going to make you feel better. Okay.
And at first, that Reese's cup, it was an extra large. Just one big, huge, you know what I'm talking about? Reese's.
Okay. Yeah.
So I thought, I'm just going to nibble the chocolate off the side.
Sure.
That way I won't get any of the peanut butter.
I'm not a pig.
And I did, and I just could taste just a little on my lips.
You're in it.
So I said, well, I'll just eat half, and I ate half, and then just instantly later, I thought,
Just put in the tip.
Yeah. Just crammed it all into you.
exactly. Just the tip.
Oh, I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner.
I better have a Diet Coke.
Awful.
Today's
I
ruined.
did. Wash it down.
Yeah.
Once one day's ruined, why not, right?
Yeah.
So
Reese's has these monster cups now, don't they? With
That's
all
what it
kinds of
was.
peanut butter in them.
I think that's what it
But
was.
yours had pretzel,
It had
too.
pretzel in it, yeah.
What is that peanut butter like in there? Because
It was good. It was
it's
good.
not always creamy in a Reese's.
This
It's
one
more-
was. This one was more creamy than I
Really?
expected. Yeah.
Less granular-y.
Less granular. But I could tell that's salt. So anyway, I agree. I would turn my nose up at the Dolly Parton Jenny's flavor, but
If she were to serve it to you?
I would eat it and probably go, oh,
Oh, Dolly.
oh, Dolly.
Oh, look, some spilled on my cleavage.
I get it, Dolly. I get it.
That's not stuff she pulled out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, there's a strawberry.
Oh, look at pretzel.
This is from when I was on Porter Wagner show.
Is it possible that's what she made?
come when they were shooting him in the backstage.
I'll tell you.
New from Jenny's. Dolly's blouse.
Boy, and that's wound that I would eat that. It doesn't sound that great to me, but I would certainly try it.
Yeah.
And I think they did that because she's beloved. Dolly Parton is beloved, and because Jenny's originated in Nashville, which we have heard they have an actual Jenny's store in Nashville and in Charlotte where you can go and.
Right.
Some friends of ours told me that actually my wife and I have been to one in Charleston.
I didn't know it. You just went.
I don't remember going. I
Right.
just remember it was a hot day and we
Getting
had
ice
ice
cream.
cream.
Oh, I see. So you got it there and
Yeah.
didn't even realize it. Now we just blew it up on this show.
Sure did.
So point is, next week be a lot of Jennies and a lot of my butt. All right, just get ready.
Can't
for
wait for the emails. Jenny's and butt. That's all it is.
it. Just get ready. Get ready for that happening. It's a real possibility. This also, the shrimp update. The guy who says that he got shrimp tails in his cereal, which was Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Now, last week we learned that a lot of ex-girlfriends had said he's narcissistic. He made me feel terrible. He was verbally abusive because he became somewhat famous. Jensen Karp is his name.
And he's married to a famous person.
That's right.
Yes, she played on.
She was on Boy Meets World. He's married to Topanga. And for my generation, that's a big thing.
Yeah, and he's a comedian and wannabe actor. And some people are saying he's only doing this because he's those two things. Well, now people are saying.
Initially, he said that's not correct. He said he just wants. He didn't even want money.
Right.
He said he just wants them to make sure that it doesn't happen to anybody else.
Well, and General Mills really doubled down and said there's no way that a rat could have gotten into there. He thinks a rat brought shrimp tails and some other things
And
in.
poo.
And poo and dental floss, like from a nest, a rat's nest. And I saw the guy, the CEO of General Mills on the news, and he said, Inside Edition, and he said, there's absolutely no way.
Was he running to his car, shouting at the reporters, or was he composed?
He was composed. It was a Zoom. They got him on Zoom, and he
Was it the general?
It was the general himself.
General Mills?
There is no way.
I'm General Mills. There ain't no fish in there.
Well, now this guy, a lot of people who used to work with this guy, Jensen Karp, say he was a terrible coworker, and he stole the ideas of all his other coworkers, especially his African-American coworkers.
Karp.
Because he's a racist and didn't think anybody would believe them when they complained about him stealing the ideas.
Well, he should have kept his mouth shut
Karp.
on all this.
I mean, the moral is if you're a horrible person, once you go even internet famous for 15 minutes, all your stuff from your past is going to come back on.
Oh, God, yes.
This guy now is being...
That's why this show is as popular as it is. We don't want more.
That's right. That's right.
We're not sticking our head out of the foxhole.
No. What Christopher? Keep your head underwater, man.
Keep it down there.
Keep it down and don't rise up.
Hold your breath.
Thank you. Exactly.
Ride it out.
Speaking of which, Chris, keeping your head underwater, Chris Dim used to be a lifeguard.
6 years behind the whistle.
That's the name of his memoirs.
It's the book, isn't
Behind the Whistle. But
Would you be insulted if that's what he wrote his memoirs about, and not the 30 years he spent
If I
in
had to
the
sum up one job that defined me.
it was 6 years.
Did that for 6 years versus
Behind the whistle.
30 on this one?
Not one mention of this job.
Yeah, that would hurt a little bit. Today, he's going in for his employee review. Chris Dim is. And I have said, if you've seen this movie, Defending Your Life, which very few people have, it's about trying to get into heaven, and you go in front of a panel of like 3 judges, and they decide whether you can get into or out of heaven. And they look back at days of your life. And Meryl Streep goes in, and she is defending her life, and the judges are just like, it's just been a pleasure. This is just time filler. We're watching.
These are just spectacular
Yeah.
days.
And, when it's done, they are like, oh, man, it's so good. I feel like that's what his employee review is going to be like, that the manager behind the desk will just say, I can't come up with.
All the good stuff's on this side of the table.
Right
guys.
here, right here.
It's all right on this side.
And I really think he's got to give Chris Dim in the review, he has to say, here's something you
Something
can
to
improve
work
upon.
on.
And I think he's going to say, I just left this blank. There's nothing.
I left it for you to fill out.
There's really no way.
I want to know your thoughts.
What's one thing you'd like to work on?
Put it back on them.
Not being.
My
They start,
Mandarin.
they start sweating.
Yeah.
I just,
We don't know. We weren't expecting this, Mr. Dim.
I guess the only thing I could say is, could you try to be a worse coworker so that others don't feel so upset with the way?
I know I'm supposed to review you, but why don't you review me?
Yeah. Could you be a little less humble? Could there be something? He used to be a lifeguard, pool lifeguard.
Correct.
This is what the top earning lifeguards in Los Angeles made in 2019. A study looked at 82 lifeguards in that particular county, Orange County, California, and 82 of them made in excess of $200,000 per year. Lifeguards. These are ocean lifeguards now. And the top paid made $391,000. $391. Got very close. 4 of them got close to $400,000 a year.
Is that like a Hasselhoff position?
I was going to say, are they like the head of the lifeguards?
Must be.
They work for the county health
be.
department, maybe.
They won. Fernando Butthole was the highest paid lifeguard, $391,971 in 2019. He was the chief lifeguard, and he
for the whole county.
For the whole county, and he was in charge of all the lifeguards, but also did a shift himself.
Really?
He wanted to stay in touch with it.
That's right.
You know, and he pulled down, as I said, almost $400,000.
My word.
He got perks of $60,000, like bonuses of $60,000. I don't know how he earned those. But I don't know how he earned
everybody
those.
you pull shore.
Yeah, I guess no
Clean
debts.
beaches.
I hate to say it, but I bet it is somehow tied to
Well,
body count.
the comedian who used to come in here, I love him. I know his name is slipping my mind. I'm slipping as I get older.
Yeah.
But he used to be a lifeguard, the older guy who comes in all the time.
Oh,
One of
Jerry
our-
Farber.
Jerry Farber. He was a lifeguard, worked on commission.
That's right. Farber.
That's such a Farber.
That is so Farber. He was a lifeguard when he was younger, but worked on commission, so he never he couldn't make it there. These guys made almost $400,000.
That's a hard-ass job,
God.
though. That's some
It's a
some of the
hard-ass
most
job.
populous beaches in the world,
Populous
too.
beaches and an expensive city to live in. I mean, if you live in L.A.
Well, true. That's true. And ocean lifeguarding is a completely different game than Chris Dim played. And he'll tell you that. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's a totally different thing.
and that may be a cheaper number to pay off for a city
Mhm.
or a council to pay off somebody, like, not pay them off, but pay them that salary, as opposed to being sued for somebody drowning in whatever. I don't, you know,
Boy.
in a pond. Or
Boy, if you
lake.
are head of the
Ocean.
lifeguards in South Beach or what, you know, these really big beaches where people go, that's probably a pretty tough job.
And they do high dollar stuff. I mean, they got the jet skis and those cigarette boats they fly around on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And I have only approached a couple of lifeguards in my life, but I found them very helpful. Remember that time recently there was a purple flag flying, and I wanted to know what that meant down at Myrtle.
Mm-hmm.
And I approached the lifeguard who was in, and a lot of these guys apparently are from overseas. They do like some sort of college program and work as lifeguards. He was Swedish, he said.
Huh.
Because he started talking in an accent. I said, I'm not familiar with this.
You're not from here, are you?
And he did. And he said, yeah, I'm from Sweden, and I'm working. I'm from wherever it was.
Is that a glass bottle in your hand?
It was. It was.
No glass on the beach.
And he was the one that told me the purple flag was for jellyfish. So when you see it, there's a lot of jellyfish in the water. Some crime news here today. Also news from other countries. Cops in Canada are looking for a guy who walked into a museum in Vancouver and vandalized a piece of artwork. It's modern art made of bubble wrap, and he did pop the bubbles on the bubble wrap. On the bubble wrap.
That's not what the artist intended?
He didn't want people to touch it, no.
Yeah.
But it did have a portion of it was bubble wrap.
I've seen this guy that paints on the little bubbles.
That's right.
And makes.
That's right.
I mean, he does people's faces, and it's
Really?
actually quite good. Yes.
This was one. It's called Delta Trim. It's 1.5 feet tall and 21 feet wide, made entirely of bubble wrap, and there were little paintings on each,
That's right.
like you said. But somebody came up and started popping the bubble wrap. We have a spokesperson from the museum.
The damaged art was entitled Delta Trim, and it was created in 2018 by Maureen Grubin. The damage to the Delta Trim was just isolated to the portion comprised of bubble wrap, which had been allegedly popped by the suspect. So it is estimated that if repairs can be done to this piece of art, it would cost between $5,500 and $6,500.
Now,
I can go to UPS store. In fact, I got to go later today.
They got a whole roll in there.
that's $6,000, and they're looking for the guy. He appears to be in his early 20s. They have a video of himself, of him doing it. And it's not clear how many bubbles he popped, but they're saying it will be $6,000.
He
This
popped
begs
one,
the
it's too
question,
many.
Yes, yes.
Kelly, one that has baffled mankind since the beginning of time. What is art?
What, indeed, what is art? I wouldn't, well, since this has got painting on it and so forth, I guess I would call
I
this.
mean, it's creative. Somebody took time to do it.
Yeah.
It does display something there. They
Yeah.
should have put it behind glass.
Yeah, I guess you're
That's
right.
the one time glass protects bubble wrap instead of bubble wrap.
Yeah, protecting glass.
Most art isn't, though, right? Behind glass or ropes.
Well, you all said that, what's her name over in,
Well, the Mona Lisa's different.
well, I mean, but that's some art that is behind it.
Well,
But
it's
most is not. You're
Most
right.
is not.
But that's the one, since it's behind glass only because, as Christian said, it's so famous.
Sculptures can be. Sometimes they'll put them in glass boxes so that people won't touch them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but then when you
Exhibits.
take pictures, you get reflections off the glass.
The
Yeah.
reason Christian said, what is art, is we had
It baffled Chris Kelly.
a food critic in once, and he had gone from place to place all over the Southeast eating good food, and we just asked him, what makes a great meal? And he responded in this way.
I took a class when I was in college art history, and the final exam had one question: what is art?
One of my favorite sound clips.
That may
Top
go
50 at 50?
I think that'll be a top
Oh,
50.
that's top
don't you think?
50. Yeah, that might be. Is that a top? That might be top 10.
I
Top
don't know.
10.
I don't know.
Ah,
Top 20.
I don't think it's top 10. We're doing my,
Just for grunting?
my
What's
wife's
fun is to compare and contrast those grunts with the porn star
God,
who
what was her
came
name?
in
What
now,
was
what, 9 years ago?
Alexis.
Oh yeah,
Alexa.
What was
Alexis.
her
It was
last?
Alexis something.
Yeah, and it was a triple X porn star.
Hardcore.
Oh my!
She was
God.
doing her first.
Yeah, she had typical porn star speak.
We have it. I bet this will be one of the top 50 at 50. Don't you think?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Being has suggested that we compile when I turn 50 years old in 2 weeks. We go through a week of my top 50 moments, 10 each day for the week, from 50 all the way down to number 1. And this is a suggestion to be on that list.
I just shot my big interracial anal movie.
It's almost the same sound from Kelly, but not.
Kick in the gut.
God, she was so out of it.
She was.
She was
You were
on the move.
That poor thing. You can hear it.
Who wasn't here? Kristen.
Me.
Miss Deb
You
wasn't
weren't
here. I was
Yeah.
standing right
Colonoscopy.
next to her.
No.
You missed her.
I mean, she had everything.
my first colonoscopy.
Oh, gee.
I just shot my big interracial anal movie.
Oh. And I'd already asked her, can your father save you from this life? I already said.
Yeah.
Is there any way to pull you back?
What's your
from-
Your
relationship
parents
with
come
your...
see you in movies?
I
What do your parents
I'm trying
say?
to pull her back into the good. I said, can your father save you from this life of sin? And she said, no.
You sound like her uncle on Christmas when she tells him, "So, anything new? I'm about to shoot my first anal gangbang."
Wonder where she is now, B.
Yeah, where is she?
Chris Dent was on his first anal
He
shoot.
was.
I don't know where she is now.
I don't either. Her name is Alexis Ford.
Let's see. I'll look it up.
Alexis
With how many? With multiple
I'm
X's?
sure at multiple X's.
3 X's, at least at that time.
Yeah.
Maybe more now. I'd forgotten about that one. Tune in 2 weeks for my top 50 at 50, and you're sure to hear both of those.
Oh, absolutely. The box is getting full. There's too many.
There's too many. And I told Kristen, usually when somebody does that, when that's done for someone, it's some great thing that they've said or done. And me, it's always mistakes or grunts and whatnot. You know?
Flubs
so.
and goofs.
More
Flatitzas.
I know, Flatitza. Flatitza's going to be top 10.
Flatitza.
That's going to be there.